The New York Mets are once again betting on mid-tier pitchers to fuel their rotation, hoping for lightning to strike like it did last season when they reached the NLCS. But there's one move that they can make to truly elevate the staff, and it's a deal that could be within reach. Stick around to find out which ace could take them to the next level in 2025. Welcome to another episode of Mets Post. Let's get it. The Amazings are still attempting to build on their success from 2024 when they made it to the NLCS on the back of a tired rotation that overperformed and a ball club that was fighting for recognition. After signing Juan Soto to the biggest contract in sports history, it seems like things have quieted down for the Mets. There's been rumors out there on who they are targeting, but nothing has come from it. Yes, they are still in on Pete Alonso, but it is now being reported by Jim Duquette that Pete Alonso's camp has reportedly offered a 3-year deal that they would agree to exclusively with the Mets. Andy Martino of SNY did go live and report that the Mets and Alonso are still very far in their contract negotiations, so there's still a sizable gap. Both sides are playing a dangerous game of chicken, but I'm content with the Mets not overpaying him, especially when he denied their extension offer, but is now looking for the same offer. Now, forgive me if I don't believe that the Mets are arrogant enough to believe that they can trust in those final 3 pitchers to officially hold their own for 130 plus innings in 2025. It just doesn't scream contender to me and makes me concerned if David Stearns is that hell-bent on proving that his system is top-notch. So from top to bottom, if the season started today, the Mets would go into the 2025 season with a rotation that consists of Kodai Senga, who was injured for most of last year, Sean Manaea, Frankie Montas, Griffin Canning, Clay Holmes, and a 6th pitcher, which would either be David Peterson or Jose Budo. I can't see that staff beating the Dodgers, Braves, or the Phillies at this very moment. They may prove me wrong during the season, but as it stands right now, I'm not confident in it, which is why I believe that Stearns is fishing for an ace on the trade market, especially after the most recent report stating that the Mets don't really have a shot in signing Roki Sasaki. So who could they be looking into? The Marlins made it very clear that they may be in the business of bolstering their farm system. And Sandy Alcantara is their best trade bait right now. Alcantara started 28 games for them in 2023, but struggled quite a bit on the mound as he finished that season with an ERA of 4.14. He had 151 strikeouts in 184 innings pitched before going down with a sprained ulnar collateral ligament, which led to him having Tommy John surgery. Due to the surgery, he missed the entire 2024 season, but is expected to be good to go again by spring training in 2025. This is a player that the Mets have to be in on. He had a phenomenal year in 2022, which led him to be the unquestionable Cy Young Award winner. He has a career ERA of 3.32 and a win above replacement of 19.7. The Mets need a player like this to anchor the rotation, which would move Kodai Senga to the 2nd starting spot and Sean Manaea to the 3rd slot, leaving Montas, Holmes, and Canning to man the back of the rotation. If the Mets are truly looking to reach the next level and win a World Series, then David Stearns has to be able to make an investment in a proven pitcher that is not a reclamation project. While the Marlins may not be motivated to make the move before the 2025 season, the Mets must do their best to put forward an offer that Miami can't refuse. It will take several of their top prospects to get it done, but how could you hesitate when the light at the end of the tunnel is becoming that much clearer? You don't sign Juan Soto to the biggest contract in sports history to just sell tickets and merchandise after declaring over and over again that you want to win a World Series. That's not where Steve Cohen's focus for the franchise is. You do that because you want it all, and you want the world to recognize the greatness behind your every move. This is a move that would truly help define where the Mets stand in their quest for a World Series title. Whatever the offer may be, it would have to include Brett Beatty, who seems to have fallen out of favor within the organization, but you may also have to part ways with either Jet Williams, Ryan Clifford, and maybe even Brandon Sproat, who I would be very reluctant in trading away. I think you can get away with Jet Williams, Brett Beatty, and maybe even a veteran like Jeff McNeil if you believe that Acuna can be your everyday second baseman. With Alcantara also comes a favorable contract. He's set to make $17 million in 2025 and 2026, then has a club option in 2027 where if the Mets were to opt in, then his salary would rise to $21 million. It's not a bad salary at all in comparison to what some of the other top pitchers in the league are making. It's actually a huge bargain in comparison to what Corbin Burns just signed for. Burns will have an annual average value of $35 million, which is the 6th largest for a starting pitcher. If David Stearns wants to continue to go bargain bin shopping for starting pitchers, then I think it's time to be efficient with that approach. You have your projects, but now it's time to get a sure thing to add to this rotation. That sure thing will cost you your prospects, who may not even be sure things at the MLB level over the next several years. If the Mets are in win now mode, then I can definitely see them putting their chips in for a guy like Sandy Alcantara. What do you think of this idea? Should the Mets make a move for the former Cy Young winner, or should they stand pat with their current rotation? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm Bryan Cameron, and I'll see you again next week for another episode of Mets Post. Let's go Mets.